Alright, here's some tools you're going to need for this project. First off, you're going to need your Allen wrenches. Make sure you get either a set or a very specific 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench, and I'll let you know what the other one is you're going to need. A small, tiny flathead screwdriver will work for getting this thing out, or a pair of needle nose, very thin needle nose pliers, and then you're going to need a flathead screwdriver. So first off, let's take a look at the Kohler faucet real quick, and let's notice a couple things. So you see here that on the front here we have an Allen wrench right here. Okay, right there. That holds that little cartridge in the front, so if you ever get anything on that, you can take that Allen wrench screw out and take that little cartridge out, and it's just got a little screen behind it. However, you probably won't ever get anything on it, because what's inside of the cartridge here is this little tiny filter that they have that is your low flow inhibitor, right? So this thing, you can see, is all gunked up from when I had installed it, and it had been limiting the flow quite a bit, and I didn't want it limited at all, and this states that it's like a 45% limiting. Alright, so go ahead and turn the handle to the side. You'll notice here that there's an Allen wrench there. That's a 2.5 millimeter. Alright, you're just going to go ahead and throw your Allen wrench in there and loosen it up. Alright, once you got it loose and you got the screw out, just go ahead and pull on this and it'll come up, just a little square bracket, and it's over this little valve area. This little screw on top, you're going to need to take it off. That's what this screws into to hold it on. So go ahead and take a flathead screwdriver and loosen it up and take it off. Alright, so go ahead and loosen that, and we're almost done. Alright, we now have that screw off. That was just a flathead tapered screw that goes to holding the handle on. Alright, now you can see that we've got this little metal kind of shield over it. It's part of the faucet. So just take a flathead screwdriver, put it in there, and just pry up ever so slightly on the bottom of it, and it'll pop right out. Alright, next thing you see is we've got a nut in there we got to take out, and since we've already backed out this screw, which would have prevented us from putting a socket in there, I'll grab my socket and go ahead and back that out. Alright, so the socket that we're using here is a 7/8. So 7/8 inch socket, fits awfully nice. Just go ahead and put that socket in there and get this off, and I will show you getting it off in a sec. Alright, I loosened it up just a little bit so I could back it out with one hand. Alright, so now that's off. We should just be able to pop this right out. Alright, some things you need to notice here is we have a face. You can see that the two eye holes on the top, and you got a mouth hole on the bottom. I don't know what they're called, but basically the two eye holes on the top are what feed the water, and the hole on the bottom is what takes your hot and cold water and feeds it to the top of the faucet. All right, now inside of here, you'll see that that little circular filter will go. All right, we've got a gasket in there. All right, let me get a flashlight. All right, so we've got our flashlight, so we can actually see in there, and you can tell that you've got two little holes where the hot and cold come in, look like eyes, and then the mouth, kind of a larger hole down below. All right, that's where that little filter was. So let me go ahead and put that back in there. All right, so here it is in its original configuration. You can see that the filter's in there. It's a little gunked up, and that's what we're going to remove to allow it to have a normal flow and allow us to control the flow through the valves in the bottom of the sink. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Sorry, it's just not exactly the best video editing, but it is what it is. So go ahead and just pop this down there and grab it. Oh, a bunch of junk. There we go. Just pull it out. Now you have it. All right, and that's it. Now you want to make sure that this matches up. You got two little, all right, hold on. These eye holes right here, these two little, sorry, not eye holes, but two little circles that go, make sure that it's matched up. Losing my words a little bit. All right, it's matched up. Go ahead and press that down. Got a nice tight seal. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take that ring, put it back in there. I'm going to take my socket, my 7/8 socket, and I'm going to try to back it out a little bit to make sure I get a good good seal on those threads before I work it in. And I'm going to tighten it up by hand, and then I'm just going to tighten it a little bit just to make sure I got it snug so the seal is nice and good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, that's done. Don't over tighten it. Just tighten it enough that it's got a good, nice, snug fit. All right, this piece right here, you're going to see that you've got a little tiny half curve piece right there that is going to be a key for when you're putting this back in. That key goes down here in the bottom corner. You can see it just barely. All right, so we're going to take that key and we're going to put it in there and press on this. That'll just slide back in, and there we go. All right, next we want to use that little tiny screw that's beveled on the end to attach the handle. Get our flathead screwdriver, go ahead and give it a nice twist. Now go ahead and sink this one down pretty good. You want this to be a pretty decent amount of torque on it, so it's not going to be coming out. All right, that's all we have to do. All we have to do now is go ahead and put the handle back on and tighten up the Allen wrench from the back. And I've gone ahead and put the screw in already. I'm tightening it up, and this is just a very simple process. Just get it nice and snug, nothing crazy, and you will be ready to put it back on your sink, which I'm going to do and demonstrate once again the flow that I'm now getting. So now it's all hooked up, it's all installed, everything works great. All right, I'm going to show you something now. All right, so here's the full flow, quite a bit. So if you don't want that full flow, I'm going to go ahead and put it all the way in. All you need to do is come down here and adjust your valve just a little bit. So instead of turning it all the way off, just adjust it to 1/4. And my other valve is back behind here. Okay. So you can still adjust exactly, you know, how much water comes out just by using the valve. So here is a minimum of water. So there we go. Now I have what I would consider probably a very good spot for this stream to be full bore. So if somebody comes and washes their hands, they're going to get, you know, a good amount of water, but not too much. All right, and that concludes my video. I hope you guys have been able to gain a little bit of insight on this beautiful faucet that is extremely frustrating because of the tiny flow of water that comes out of it.